It's funny, I've made this joke in training before that SAS is the best cult I've ever been a part of. And I'm only half joking when I say that.
Bravery in the face of uncertainty.
Striker contact. Right.
Good job. If you want to study snow, Silverton is the place.
My name's Kaylee Walden. I could start from the beginning, I guess. Like the number one way that I would identify myself as a skier. I grew up on a farm and ranch in Montana, and my dad was a volunteer ski patroller at this little tiny area called Showdown. And if I had good grades on Wednesdays, it was open Wednesday to Sunday, I could skip school and go skiing with my dad for Powder Wednesday. So like all of my achievements from a young age were based on the reward of powder skiing. So after I graduated college, I really wanted to go to Alaska, so looked all around for jobs, moved there for a little bit. That's kind of where I got my start guiding. And then after that, without ever seeing it before, kind of loaded all my stuff into my car and was like, well, I did my like fun guiding summer, now I'll do my like ski bum winter, and then I'll be ready to get a real job or go back to school. And so I loaded all my stuff in my car, drove to Telluride, and then eventually like just kind of fell in love with this place. Moved here for the access to the mountains. And I had already taken some recreational courses at that time. I studied abroad in France, so I did like a semester-long program that was focused around like backcountry skiing and avalanche education, but then retook that rec course when I got here and then just kind of like really dove into getting more education. And I think along the way, like kind of fostered that passion for like taking other people outside with guiding, and then eventually got the opportunity, got enough experience to kind of meld those two things together and teach people about avoiding avalanches and getting out into the mountains. I had started teaching SAS curriculum at Mountain Trip, which is over across the way in Ophir/Telluride. One weekend, SAS had done our training over there, so Ack came over, met Ack. He's like this like long-haired hard boot split boarder. I hadn't seen many hard booters before. And then kind of came over here because they called me last minute. They were like, we need someone to work this weekend. And Silverton Avalanche School is kind of a big deal. So I was like, yes, absolutely. I really want to work for you guys. So dropped everything, came over the next weekend, and then they were like, okay, cool, that went great. Maybe you can work here. We're not like a staff of big egos. Like hopefully we all like bring each other up and we are accessible to the students and not like speaking down at them from like a teacher's pedestal of like, oh, I've seen everything, like, here's how you do it. It's like impelling them that like we're still learning and always getting better. So that's what they should strive to do too. I like to go skiing on my days off. I don't just like to teach avalanche courses. Like I still like to get out there and push myself. Still having like a fire and a passion for doing the thing is something that comes across in the teaching too. It's if people ask us challenging questions, we also don't lie. Like students will be like, what do you think about solo skiing? Do you go skiing in the backcountry by yourself? Well, yes, I'm not gonna lie to you. I do that pretty frequently, but I'm not stepping out more than I would with a group. I'm probably not skiing much avalanche terrain, if any, and also just knowing the caveat of like, no one's coming to get you. Rather than avoiding talking about the realities, I think we try and like face that as much as we can. But I think it's better to send them away with some tools rather than just like avoidance as a blanket statement. Sharing that and like bringing people into this world of backcountry skiing or helping to initiate them brings me a lot of joy because it's brought me so much joy. So just knowing that they're gonna go out and make those memories in the mountains and hopefully do those in like an educated and mindful way is really cool. But that also weighs on you a little bit. Like every time I hear about an avalanche incident, I'm like, oh man, I hope I didn't have that person in a course, you know? I think another thing that's important as an educator is to believe that everyone can get there. So like you have students come in from a whole different, like from many different backgrounds, and just like having the belief that they can put the ideas together and like do what you need to do to meet them where they're at to bring them up to that point. My last goal was getting my ski guide certification, and I did that last year. Before I really went down that path, I used to be super competitive, racing and stuff like that. So I want to have goals like that again, but I'm also so busy that I don't have time for like those really big goals. And I'm so competitive that I either want like massive goals or like nothing, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I'm kind of just like enjoying myself a little bit at the moment. Mountain goals to me are also a little challenging because I feel like you just have to let the mountains dictate what your goals are. Like I could say that I want to go ski traverse the Wiminuche this spring, but like with it being almost 60 degrees out today, like the mountains could easily shut down that goal. So it's like, it's hard to put those goals in place until you know if the conditions are going to be there to support them.